Hello and welcome. I'm An Jang-hyun for Heart to Heart. When you donate money to a charity, you want to make sure your money is going to the right group and is being spent properly. Well, there is a system which provides this kind of information to contributors, in addition to connecting contributors with charity groups or beneficiaries. It is called GuideStar International, and I'm joined today by the founder and president. Please welcome Mr. Buzz Schmidt.
Good morning.
Good morning. Nice to meet you.
Happy to be here.
So, may I ask you what it is that brings you to Korea?
Well, we're hoping that the early interest we see in the GuideStar model in Korea will come to fruition. A high-level group of South Korean citizens has asked us to come and help them set up a system very similar to the system that is existing in the United States and the United Kingdom.
So you're here to provide consultations?
Basically, yes. We provide consultation. We help them identify the issues that they'll be facing as they seek to establish such a system. We also provide a technology solution that makes the implementation of such a system risk-free and very, very inexpensive.
So when can we expect to see a GuideStar Korea?
Well, I'm not sure about that. I think many meetings must be held. The critical stakeholders must be fully engaged. The country really has to want a system like this, and the stakeholders have to feel a great deal of ownership of the system because they will, in fact, be the users of the system and the beneficiaries of the system.
So for our viewers who are not familiar with the concept of GuideStar, can you just briefly go over what it's about?
Certainly. GuideStar is an online web-based service that provides extensive reports on the activities, the finances, the objectives, the accomplishments of all of the nonprofit organizations within a country. And so one would go on to GuideStar and specify a set of search criteria and then find in the search results the names of all the organizations that satisfied those particular criteria. By clicking on any one of those names, they would go to the full report on the organization.
So you can choose which cause you're contributing money to.
That's right. You choose which cause you're interested in. You choose the location within the country that you're most concerned about. You might be interested in large organizations or small organizations. You can specify different criteria that will zero in on the types of organizations that you're most interested in.
So I hear you played the pivotal role in establishing the GuideStar system in the United States and in the UK as well. What was the need for this system in the beginning?
Well, you know, a nonprofit sector is, in the first instance, it's a philanthropic marketplace where there are donors and there are organizations where people have to come together. And decisions are made, and resources are allocated. And what we see in the philanthropic marketplace, unlike any other marketplace we might have in our society, is that there's virtually no information driving those decisions. As a result, often some locations have far more resources than others. The cost of raising money by the nonprofit organizations is often very high because the providers of the capital, the providers of the donations, don't have the ability to be proactive. So we thought that if there were very solid, comprehensive information about the work of organizations, that donors would have the ability to be proactive, that organizations would be able to view their peer organizations, the trustees would be able to find out which markets were underserved, which markets were overserved, and that overall decisions would be much more valid and resources allocated much more effectively.
GuideStar US was established in 1994.
That's
is
right.
That correct? So before that, there was no system like this.
That's right. There was no system like that, and there was very little overall knowledge about the population of organizations in the States, believe it or not, you know, the most advanced philanthropic society, but still nobody really knew what was out there.
Are there systems of this kind now then in existence, ever since the emergence of
Only
GuideStar?
GuideStar. And what the beauty of this model is that it's an open platform, and so it can support the work of other intermediaries. And it does. 25 other intermediaries have built their own philanthropic systems on this core database. So GuideStar doesn't seek to do everything for everyone. It seeks to provide a platform of information that makes good things, creative things happen on top of it.
So do you get charity organizations that come to you and register themselves with you?
Yes, but actually every organization in the States and every organization in the UK is automatically on the system. And it's on the system because in each case the government has collaborated with the private GuideStar, the private non-profit GuideStar in those countries, to provide a flow of information about the registered organizations as well as to provide their annual reporting documents. So at GuideStar, that information is digitized, put into reports that are viewable in a comparable format. So users of the system will get used to looking at organizations in a certain way. And then on top of that, the organizations are able to provide supplemental information that's more descriptive typically in nature. The government reports are typically more financially oriented. So organizations can provide more descriptive information about their programs, about their objectives, their accomplishments, their needs on top of that. And what's happened is that over 100,000 of such organizations in the United States have supplemented their reports online. So organizations at no cost can communicate exactly how they want to society.
So are they getting more contributions as a result of GuideStar?
Yeah, we see a lot of this is anecdotal, and it's really difficult in any nonprofit activity to claim the full credit for any kind of change in society. But we see a lot of evidence that this is working. We see the usage of the website is obviously a major indicator that a lot of people are using the information and coming back to use more information. We're seeing that the reporting quality of the organizations is improving. There are fewer errors in